Hello and welcome to Whilton Mill and the first round of the Winter Series, the first event of the Winter Series for the Kart Championship. My name is Nick Daywin and normally I'd be talking to Joe Bradley, but well, for a change I'm going to talk to David Sullivan and Joe Bradley about this fantastic event. David, welcome to Karting Live TV. It must be nice to be back in the paddock, but with people with different shirts.
Yeah, of course. Absolute pleasure to be here once again at Whilton Mill. It's a fantastic venue to be hosting one of the Winter Series rounds for the Kart Championship. I'm really excited to be back. Some of the best races I've commentated on has been in this series, so really excited to get going again for 3 rounds of this Winter Series.
And Joe, we can tell us Winter Series because you're now wearing, what, 6 layers?
I am cold. I know the sun's shining and you guys are in T-shirts. And I'm from the north. How's that work? I'm out the country far too often. I'm delighted to have David with us this weekend. David's knowledge of this championship is second to none. He's been with this series for what now? Is it 3 years? And I'm just going to glean all of that knowledge. I can sit back. If I've smoked a cigar, I would. And David's going to give us all the information during our live stream.
Well, the good news is normally I send one man intrepidly into the paddock, but I can send 2 men. So, Joe, David, do your paddock best.
Joe Mills, brand new chassis, no excuses this weekend. Talk me through why we're on a brand new chassis.
Well, second practice yesterday, driving, I thought I bent a track rod, steering was wonky, and then all of a sudden floor tray scraping on the floor, and the chassis has snapped.
Right, come and show me the damage. It's over here. Let's have a quick browse at this. So we've done a good job, haven't we?
Yeah.
Dad says it's his chassis for seniors once we get it fixed.
Yeah, I'm not sure how drivable it'll be though.
Good. I'm guessing that's the effect of the new curbs here at Whilton. You have to sort of hit them right, because if you don't, that happens.
Yeah, that's what happens when you drive Whilton in the wet, I guess. I mean, it's an older chassis, but still.
Yeah. That's the thing with the wet, though, isn't it? You sort of have to hit them curbs to be fast. Now, the team have done a grand job. They've gone off and collected a new chassis, I believe. And did some people chip in to get it built up last night?
Yeah, the team was really good building it up and getting it all set up. And it's worked well. I've got P1 in practice this morning so far, so hopefully I can bring it through today and tomorrow.
Good. Got fresh tyres on for qualifying, but everybody's on fresh tyres, so that'll really level the field out. Are we hoping for another P1? Where are we looking for realistically?
I think definitely top 5 or top 3. I mean, I think we've done a few setup changes since practice to make the kart feel a bit better. I think it's just sort of tidying up my driving and hoping for P1.
Good stuff, Joe. Well, we'll keep an eye on it and see how you go this weekend.
Thank you.
I think one of the main success stories of the 2024 Kart Championship has got to be these Bambino karts. This is the Mighty Bambino. These are electrically propelled karts. No fossil fuels here, just plenty of battery charge. And these 2 youngsters here have been a big part of the Mighty Bambino Championship over the course of the year. Kai Ergensoy here, dressed in the red, white and black suit, which we like red, white and black because I'm a Sunderland supporter, Kai. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. And Jax One, you're in the blue and yellow. What's your football team then, Jax?
Man City.
Oh, well, we'll talk to Kai instead. What's your football team? Please don't say Man City. You got a football team?
No.
No. Right, because you are focused on this. And this is your dad, Kai. What's your dad called?
Javid.
Javid, you're the mechanic, team manager, psychologist, social worker, the lot, yeah?
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'm going to ask your dad a few questions, boys, okay? What is it about the Mighty that has attracted you to run that?
Fairness. That we don't have to buy 8 engines to be competitive. And if there's any pace difference, it's all about the squishy thing rather than anything to do with the car. And it just makes it less work for me as well. So.
How important is it to see Kai smile when he comes off the track?
It's why we do it.
Yeah.
It's why we do it.
So Kai, I want to ask you about your kart, right? Come over here. I want to ask you about this. So is that the electric motor that runs it?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you know how it works?
Yes.
Does it run these wheels? Does it drive these wheels?
Yes.
And does it drive these wheels very fast?
Yes.
How fast?
A lot.
Yeah. Do you think that you could go faster?
Yeah.
Right. And is it that when you grow up or get a bit older, you'll be able to get a faster kart?
Yeah.
But for now, you're going to race this Mighty, yeah?
Yeah.
And you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Where do you think you're going to come in this Winter Series then? Do you think you're going to win or?
Yeah.
Does it matter?
No.
It's all about the racing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does Jax think? Jax, what number are you?
76.
Right, your kart's over there. She's cart's over there, so we're not going to. So, Jax, what is it about racing that you really love then?
Battling and having to get in the front.
So that's the thing, isn't it, about getting in front and winning. So is it the first time you've been to Whilton Mill?
No.
How many times have you been here? A few times, I think, 'cause I've seen you here a few times. Do you like the track?
Yeah, I love the track.
Yeah. What is it you love about the track here at Whilton Mill?
The new last corner.
Oh, the new one, the chicane.
Yeah.
Do you like bouncing over that chicane?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Kai? Do you like the new chicane?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like about the new chicane?
Bouncing on it.
So you guys like flying then, eh?
Yeah.
Right. So maybe rallycross or something in the future?
No.
No, you like karting. Yeah. Okay, guys. I wish you all the very best. Have a great race, and don't forget to keep smiling. Okay?
Yeah.
Jax Wong and Kai Ergensoy, everybody. They're going to have a great weekend. We're not even finished 2024, David and Ned. Here we are, with 2025 looming and some exciting information that you and I were party to. The 2025 calendar in place. Do you think we should tell people?
I think we should already. We've still got 2 Winter Series rounds after this one, and we've already talking about 2025.
If anyone knows us, they know we're rubbish at keeping secrets. So I've got it in front of me. So here we go then, 2025, the Kart Championship. Round 1, Warden Law in March, 26th, 27th in April, Shennington, old school track there. Then we go off to Gig in May, GYG, Gleneagles, PFI in June. And then it rounds off July, we're at Rowra. End of the season in August at Whilton Mill. Back here, David. Phenomenal. And of course, kicking off on my home turf.
Your home turf, a superb calendar, by the way. 6 quality tracks and some new ones for our drivers, because some championships they stay with the same tracks every year on rotation. We're putting some new ones in. I don't think a lot of the drivers that have done this championship will have done Shennington. It's a quality championship, but the first round at Warden Law, one that the drivers really, really like.
And it's a track that everyone's familiar with. We've already been there in 2024. We're about to get there for the Winter Series. In March, we're probably going to need a lot of wet tyres. It's going to be cold. I don't know if you know this. Did you know that Warden Law is the highest point in the borough of Sunderland?
Really?
Yeah. And that's why it's so bloody cold.
And then when we go there, our voices go even higher.
That's right. So we know the challenges that are presented by Warden Law, arguably one of the most physical tracks in the country. But the second round really is, it's a track that's close to my heart, because back in the 90s, I tended to race a lot at Shennington because there was a lot of high-level racing going on there.
Oh, some of the big names have been at Shennington. You only have to see that from this year. You look at the Super Prix, the Shennington Super Prix. Yeah. It's one of the mainstays of the calendar. They had the historics out. They had Senna's kart. Going around Shennington. These drivers are going to be going around a track that his kart's been gone around, and it's a slipstream fest at Shennington, isn't it? These drivers are going to have to get used to being in a pack, nose to tail, and every corner's going to count, because if you get out of that train, you're going to get shuffled back.
It's an old school airfield circuit, isn't it? And I was absolutely excited when I heard that. Round 3, Gleneagles. Beautiful, beautiful part of the world. Got a lot of motorsport history there. Not far from Ruthin. If you're old as I am, Tom Price was going to be Britain's world champion before he was taken from us in '77. But a great memorial to visit there at Ruthin. But Gleneagles, what a track.
In the shadow of Snowdon as well. It's a roller coaster of a circuit, isn't it? You go all the way up the hill. I've known drivers in the past have had to take travel sickness tablets because of the downhill through that Devil's Elbow complex. And there's always that risk of rain as well at GYG, and when you do, it's that you've got to hook them big curbs on the inside, and that is a track that really separates you quality drivers.
Yeah, good handling, good smooth driving. What can we say about the one in June? PFI. Is it still the fastest track? Or should I say, we get the highest speed out of a Rotax Max at PFI, unmatched anywhere in the country.
Under the Lichfield Bridge, it's one of them circuits, isn't it? It is the marquee circuit of the country, is PFI. It hosted the World Championships in OK this year, and we're going to go there next year for CKC, JKC, BKC, SKC as well. That's the important one as well. We're adding seniors to the mix.
Yeah, of course. We forgot to mention that. I mean, I see PFI as kind of like the Silverstone of karting. It's, you know, the facility, not just the track, but the facility. It's right up there. I mean, you know, I suppose the next tracks on the card quality-wise would be Warden Law, Whilton Mill, places like that. But PFI is still, unfortunately, the jewel in the crown.
Let's just drop back to Warden. It's going to be a very different Warden when we go, because the work that they're putting in to get that circuit up to a level to try and compete with PFI, to compete with Wilton.
Yeah, and you're going to have some brilliant viewing areas, all the tops of the garages coming together for a raised viewing area. It's going to be completely different from a driver's standpoint as well.
Oh, absolutely. Particularly even going into that first corner, because it's now going to be in the shadow.
It is,
which, you know, before it wouldn't have been. So it's going to be a really different dynamic. But let's not forget where we're going towards the end of the year. Probably the most picturesque circuit, arguably, maybe GYG, but really the one that everyone looks at for in terms of picturesque and also weather conditions, Rowra.
And again, part of the logistics of going to these tracks, I love the drive to Rowra. For me, it's an east to west drive. It's so different to north to south, south to north, and I just love Rowra. First place I ever laid eyes on a kart. You've heard that one before, I know, viewers, but it is one of my favourite tracks, Rowra.
Can you imagine when you say to people, where are you this weekend? I'm going to be in the middle of a quarry.
Yes, in the Lake District, in fairness.
It's a brilliant, the drive across the A66, across Penrith towards Rowra, it is picturesque, isn't it? And also, it's difficult because even from the combox, which is raised up at Rowra, you can't see the weather coming in.
The driver's lounge.
The driver's lounge, yes, but you can't see the weather coming in over the top, and you know it's sunny 1 minute like it is now, and then 10 minutes later and it's a deluge, and we've seen a lot of them at Rowra.
And I always think that Rowra really does reward the brave, and what I mean by that, it's all about going deep into those hairpins on the brakes, and invariably in wet or damp conditions you need to be brave.
You get it wrong and you're 6 inches from bar, can't you? Basically at Rowra, there's no room for error at all at that circuit. You know, it's a lot like Shennington in that, you know, it's if you get it right, you get it right, and if you get it wrong, then the chances are you're probably not finishing the lap.
And of course, the season, we're already, you know, a year ahead of ourselves. The final round of the 2025 season here at Whilton Mill. Arguably one of the finest tracks in the country, right in the heart of England. It's in August. The weather's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be a fitting end to what is probably going to be a very dramatic and intense season as ever.
Always get good grids at Whilton. You say it's a very central location for a lot of our drivers. You know, even your drivers from up north, it's only 3 or 4 hours. You know, it's a lot less than what they will have travelled. So we always get a good fitting end at Whilton. And you know what they've done in the last couple of years. You know, the new building, the new restaurant, the tarmac in the paddock now, it's starting to bring itself up where it can compete at the top. And, you know, for a lot of people, they have viewed this as effectively just below PFI in terms of standards, but it's getting there now, and you know, there's no reason why this can't compete. And in terms of drivers, I've not found anybody that doesn't like Whilton Mill.
Yeah, even with the chicane. David, we've probably said far too much. Don't tell anyone we've told you all this. Look out for the official announcement coming soon, everybody. Let's crack on with the paddock walk, shall we?
We shall. Thanks. Daniel Hartley, reigning junior primo champion here in the JKC. We've moved up into junior Rotax for the Winter Series and probably for 2025 as well. Tell us about last year.
Just really good, to be honest. Good mechanic, good kart, good everything.
They don't always get the credit, do they, the mechanics?
Sometimes he does.
We haven't just stayed racing in the UK, though. We've been over at Valencia for the Tillotson T4 Nations Cup. It went pretty well.
Yeah, it did. Just second, pretty good.
You led the final as well for a few laps. Looked comfortable. You and the other driver moved away at the front and had a battle. Fortunately for yourself, it wasn't the top step, but you must have been really happy with your performance over the whole weekend.
Yeah, over the whole weekend, I've just been first, second, middle, anything. Yeah.
And the Nations Cup, really something that this championship has supported. Darren's taken teams over in the past, and you know, the UK's won it. Unfortunately, this year we lost out to Germany, but you know, I'm sure they'll be back next year. Your plans to go into 2025 junior Rotax? Are we looking to try and win some more championships?
Probably, yeah.
Another driver that's in junior Rotax, albeit in primo this weekend for the first time, is Thomas Harper. Thomas, we'd not driven a junior Rotax until this meeting, first meeting out.
Yeah, it's first meeting out, so
good.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of experience in different things over the last 18 months. You know, in the last 18 months, we've transitioned out of Honda Cadet. We've had a go in the R200, which is an Inter variant. We've had a go in an Intermax. We're now in juniors. How have you found that sort of transition through the different classes?
It's been very difficult throughout the year doing it, and yeah, it's been very fun as well. So.
Another driver that did the Tillotson T4 Nations Cup. We did it last year in Mini and we were competitive, which they call it Mini, but it's actually cadet level in terms of chassis size. This year you were in Junior for the first time. Things were going well until one of the round rubber things wasn't playing ball.
Yeah, so it just got a flat tyre on lap 1 in the final, and yeah, so we just.
Still dragged it round to take the finish though.
Yeah, top 15. So
on 3 wheels isn't at all bad. Plans for 2025? Are we going Junior Primo all year?
Yeah, I think we are doing Junior Primo all year, which will be very fun. And yeah.
And another stab at the Tillotson, do you think, in the another go to the Nations Cup over in Valencia?
Oh, I don't know.
Good. Well, I guess Dad will make that call, won't he, when he checks the budget. Good stuff. Yeah. Thomas, good luck to yourself in your first go in Junior Primo. Good luck to Daniel as well as he makes the step up from Junior Primo into Junior Rotax.
2024 has been a great season for the Kart Championship. It's been an even better season for this gentleman here. This is Luke Millward, and he was recently crowned the Vera Tools British karting champion in the Micromax Championship. Luke, I want to shake your hand because you are a British champion. And do you know something? You will be a British champion forever now. How does that feel?
It feels really good, but I hope I become world champion forever.
Yeah, that's the one. You started in the kart championship and you raced in this kart championship. And then, you know, do you think that by racing in the kart championship, that gave you a good grounding to go on to the higher levels of the British champs?
I think it does, to be fair, because this isn't as high standards as the British. It gets people used to it, get to learn to be at the front, so then eventually they will be at the front and then they'll know how to lead a race, like me.
Right. And so is it hard to lead a race?
Yeah, like I say, at the British we made mistakes in the final because of how much pressure, so it's never going to be easy.
Right, so you mean pressure on you as a driver?
100%, but we have to hopefully try and take away that pressure, because otherwise in the world it ain't going to end very well.
We're here at Whilton Mill, Luke. This was the track that you clinched the championship, and I remember seeing the TV of you coming in after the race. Were you aware that you'd actually clinched the championship at that point?
No, I wasn't.
So when did you become aware that you were actually the British champion?
About 1 minute later.
Right, and how was that? How did that come about?
Oh, it was because my teammates knew, I didn't know.
Right.
So, yeah, and Oman got a penalty. That's how it all, happened.
It was really close, wasn't it? So when you went into that final, the final of that final round, were you thinking, I'm going to win the championship, or were you thinking about something else?
I was thinking just push away with my teammate, and then
Right.
we'll swap around on the last lap, and then I've won it anyways.
Right. So do you miss racing in the kart championship? You know, because it is, as you've said, there's a lot of pressure on a young lad like you in the British champs. Do you think, you don't fancy coming back and doing a one-off?
Well, my dad's in charge will I come back or not, but why not, to be fair? I might come back in the Winter Series. You'll have to find out.
Right. Okay. Watch this space. We're going to have a British champion with us in the kart championship Winter Series. Congratulations again, Luke. Great job.
This young man is Jaden Patel-Scott. At the start of the year, he was all right. Now, he's one of the front runners in Honda Cadet. Jaden, tell us about your year all the way through, where we were, where we are now.
So we came into TKC at Whilton Mill at this track, and we were complete novices. We didn't know what we were doing. I think at one point in time we were running like an 88 sprocket, and that is completely wrong. So that was I came 27th out of a grid of 34, but it was my first time in such a big heat, I think.
So you're learning, mechanics learning as well. He's working away in the background. Where we are now, though, we've progressed a lot throughout the year. We're far more competitive now.
So for the last, 2 rounds of the actual CUKC, like the summer series, I'm going to say, I came 6th, so that was Rowram Fullbeck, so that went good. Warden Law, which was before that, where I had my first interview with you, brilliant commentators. That was the third round of the TKC, and that's when I started to come along. That was when I finished 20th out of a grid of 32.
Compliments for commentators will almost certainly guarantee you an interview at every single round going forwards, young man. What we have found, though, as drivers get more towards the front, they go from I'm just enjoying myself to I want to start winning some races now, and that's when the competitive edge comes out.
Yeah, so I think now it's just those steps working towards getting up to the very front of the pack, winning races, and we'll have to go from there.
I watched practice this morning. You were one of the front runners in there. You were in the top 2 or 3 in terms of times. Yeah. Qualifying, however, is going to pose a bit of a challenge for you going into the race day because it hasn't quite gone to plan.
No, not exactly. So yeah, practice 1 I came second, but as soon as I've come onto these tyres, my brakes locked on. So then I just hadn't got the main straight speed. I was sliding all over the place because obviously we have new tyres for the start of the season. So yeah, it didn't go the best, but 13th we have to make our way up from there.
So we're going to hopefully see you charge through the field, but what you have mentioned there is throughout practice day you've probably not had quite the same levels of grip as you have in qualifying. Nope. That grip level has had a detrimental effect on the rear axle. Dad Ricky's trying to work on it. Shall we ask him whether he's making progress?
Yes.
Good. How's it going, Ricky?
Not too bad, mate, not too bad.
Good.
So I think basically what we've had is the grub screws have sort of moved, the clamps might have sort of come a bit loose, so we had to strip it down and basically put it all back together and make it tight again, basically.
Good. So he's going off P13
yes.
on what we know in Honda is a very competitive grid.
Yes.
Whilton, though, does offer opportunities for him to overtake. Where do you think he can get up to?
I think that we can do top 5, I think, definitely. We've got to be ambitious. We've got to reach for the stars and land in a cloud, haven't we? So I think, yeah, definitely top 5, as long as he gets stuck in.
Well, let's see whether he feels he can do it. Jade, can we do top 5? Can we do top 3?
Definitely.
Good. Happy days. Into this, obviously, we're going into this what we call Winter Series now, but I'm sure everybody's sort of looking at this as a step towards 2025. What are the plans for 25?
So we were thinking to go with the Rookie Racing Training Academy to PFI one night and hire one of their Rotax carts to see how I do in one of those. And if we get like good lap times in and I'm quite quick, and then we might, for 2025, we might start to change it up a bit from the Honda grid to like maybe micro or mini.
That's only just figuring Honda out and you're already switching him up into a different class.
Well, you know, I mean, 2-stroke are a bit more temperamental, so you'll have to see.
Good. Happy days. Well, we're going into some racing now. We look to be confident. We look to be a confident driver.
Yes.
Good. Happy days. Well, hopefully it goes well. We can only really go forward from where we are in qualifying, so we'll keep an eye out for you taking the zip cart through the field.
Okay, thank you.